Hello there, lovely people. It's Alex from Nintendo Life here, and I'm not alone. I'm joined by Mr. Felix.
Hello there. It's me, and I'm not alone.
No, he's also joined by Mr. Xeon.
Oh my gosh. I'm not alone?
No, none of us are alone.
I'm joined by the incredible Alex?
Wow, full circle.
It's an Ouroboros. Yes, and we're here to talk about my top 5 Switch games of the year 2023. We have already discussed Felix's top 5. That was 2 days ago. Link in the description. We've also discussed Xeon's top 5, and he said Felix again. That's a link in the description as well. And now it's my turn, and I do hasten to point out this is in no particular order. So we've already had some lovely games from those previous 2 games, but it's my turn now. Guys, are you ready?
Yes.
You're not ready for my first game. It's Metroid Prime Remastered.
Ah, yes.
For some reason, I thought you were going to say Dread. I have no idea why my head was in that space.
That's like
but what year is it?
That's like 3 years old? I think it's 3 years old now. It's
disregard me.
Or is it 2
this
years
makes
old?
so much sense though. Yeah.
Either way, it's not that game. It's Metroid Prime Remastered. This is,
nice,
for my money, one of the best remasters I've ever seen, because it just runs, sort of, it's the classic game, warts and all, and it runs perfectly. It looks gorgeous. They've updated every single art asset. They've even updated some of the geometry. But it's the original game here through and through. It's just like, it's the definition of getting it right when you just get an old game and you quote-unquote give it a new coat of paint. Like, it's everything
Magic
I wanted
paint.
it to be. Magic paint, indeed. The whole thing through and through is just, it's just sublime.
It's a wonderful
It's one of the
game.
best GameCube games ever. And now it's on Switch.
Sounds like it treads a fine line of like being a remake versus being a remaster, almost in a sense. And like, I know that's not the discussion we're here to have, but that's a really incredible thing to have happen, because so many remasters come out and are just not what you want them
Tales
to be.
of Symphonia.
Yeah, you can tell that this was made with an incredible amount of love. Like, there's no denying that. This was made because the creators, or at least the IP holders, because Retro did work on this, didn't they?
Yeah, you're right. Alex, I was so close. Oh, well, I really wanted to put this on the list, but Jim told me, So
oh, really?
I
didn't know you played this.
Oh, yeah, I played it this year.
Oh, wow.
It's a really, really good game. And I hadn't played the original, so this was just my brand, fresh experience. But I knew that you really, really like this game. And
Yes.
I'm so glad that it's here on the list.
Imagine if you hadn't put it on, you're like, oh, Alex will put it on, and I'm like, nah, I won't put it on.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I was afraid. That's good. That's why it's good to have Jim here to fact check.
Yeah.
Those
Thank you,
kinds of
Jim.
stuff.
Thank you, Jim.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jim.
Thank you.
Thim.
Cuphead reference.
But yeah, I can't really say any more about this game. It is the classic GameCube game. Like, this game had almost no right being as good as it is. Like, taking a game that's always been in 2D, making it 3D, giving it to what was realistically a relatively unknown developer at the time that had so many bloody cancellations on their existing games, and to have it turn out to be one of the best games ever released.
Yeah, it had a pretty bumping road, but it made it to the finish line. And man, what a finish line it was. The atmosphere, especially, the music, is just so engrossing. And, we could be talking about this game for a long time.
So it's easy to say that you two are both on the bus, strapped in, ready to drive to Metroid Prime 2 Echoes Land.
I can't wait to hop onto the Metroid Prime 2 Echoes battle bus with you guys.
Please.
Where we're dropping.
Do.
Oh, but anyway, that's that one.
Hopefully 2024.
Hopefully, that'll be good. But the next game on my list is a bit out of left field, and it's actually I'm just going to say what it is. It's Figment 2 Creed Valley. Which,
no way.
Yeah,
What?
I'm guessing is a bit of a surprise for you two. I actually came across this game. I was briefly aware of Figment when that first came out, and then I heard of Figment 2. I actually primarily heard about this because we got the offer of doing a sponsored video for it. I want to be upfront about that. And I played it for the sponsored video and I was like, oh my god, this is actually a really good game. It does run, sort of a little bit rough on Switch, it has to be said, but I still played it all the way through. And as in terms of like a top-down it's just a top-down puzzle game essentially, but the setting, the dialogue is really good. And the music is also excellent. There are so many instances in this game, so many of those aha moments, We sort of like, I don't know how this is going to work. How is this going to... Oh, and then you get through. And
yeah,
I really like the setting as well. It's like all meant to be taking place inside someone's head, but it's sort of at the same time feels like its own world. It doesn't like constantly go, oh, this is going to make the person outside of the head sad. Or anything like that. It's almost it's sort of aware, but at the same time not entirely. So it still feels like a living, breathing world. And I absolutely loved it. I loved the setting, the ending, and the ending music as well, like against the final boss. Gets stuck in my head on a regular basis. I don't want to go into too many details, but yeah, this was a weird sleeper hit, and this still sticks with me, this game. And yeah.
That's awesome. I did not see that coming. I actually, the first game really intrigued me on the eShop, and I actually bought it with some gold points that I had lying around. Now I haven't played it yet.
I think I picked it up too. I think it's like just waiting in limbo on my backlog.
Yeah, it just looks really, really intriguing. Then the second one came out and it actually got delayed. Like I felt like it was on the eShop forever. But then it finally came out, and I unfortunately heard that it didn't run too well on the Switch. But
yeah,
I'm really glad. But that it is on this top 5 of that it is on this list means that it did make a big impression, and I'm just really surprised to see that. And nice to see.
Yeah, that's a cool variation, like something that I never would have seen coming. So way to mix it up.
Yeah, it's just, I was looking through my, sort of like played games, and I saw that and I was like, oh yeah. Yeah, no, that was a game. And as I say, I still get that boss music in my head every few months, and it doesn't leave for a couple of days. And I don't mean that in a bad way. Sometimes you get an earworm and it's horrible, but no, this is
Never
a cracker.
Good, no.
I love this game, but I didn't love it as much as this next one, I have to be honest. Because it's a biggie. It's Super Mario Bros. Wonder.
Yeah.
Yay.
This is kind of like Tears of the Kingdom again, isn't it? I feel
it
like
is,
this would be on all of our lists.
It was going to be on all of our lists, but yeah, I was the lucky boy who got it. This is just, oh my god, this is what 2D Mario has needed for 30 years. And I can't believe I'm saying that, but it is 30 years. I know New Super Mario Bros. Was a big deal when it came out, but it never quite grabbed my attention, and none of the subsequent games really stood out to me. I enjoyed them when I played them, but it was always kind of like, okay, and that's done. And the overworlds were so boring.
I'm so sad to hear that, because that was like my childhood growing up. So. No, but I totally get, it was getting very stale at the end. And even I was like, come on, let's get something new. And boy, did we get something new.
Oh, the Wonder Flowers. My friends, the Wonder Flowers.
The Wonder Flowers are incredible, and they shake up how the levels play out. But even without the Wonder Flowers, there's so much variation in how these levels play out. It feels like no two levels feel the same. It's always something new, and there's always new ideas that they use for one level, and then you don't see them again. And the music, sound design, control, everything is just snappy, and you can just feel that they really had a long time to perfect this game because it's so polished.
I'm the Wonder Flower that sticks in my head the most. I'm almost tempted not to say it because of spoil. I mean, it's not really a spoiler. It's just a thing that happens, but...
how did that make you feel? How did that Wonder Flower make you feel?
Yeah, how does that make you feel?
Amazing. It's a callback, but it's not immediately obvious, but everything ties into it, and it's just... The energy is so strong, and it makes you feel impervious. It's... Oh.
I really need to play more of this game. I had so much fun with it the first week that it came out, but I haven't played it at all since that first weekend, and it's just been sitting there collecting dust now. I don't know why.
Oh man, you just got to pick it up. Just pick it up.
I know. Now that I've
do it now.
Quite a few
we'll carry the
backlog.
rest of the video. It's fine.
All right, sounds good. Well, I got it right here.
I played it quite sporadically, so it's like I picked it up, played a few levels, put it down, picked it up, played a few levels, and that's the I was almost about to say that's the wonderful thing about that. No, the good thing about that is just, you don't need to. The levels are so short, but they're so fun. So if you just have like 5-10 minutes, you can squeeze in some playing time, and that's how I ended up beating the whole game. Because it's.
Whereas I sat down and did 100% in a few days.
Yeah, now we can see the variety of the gamer.
That sounds like a nice way for just anyone to just spend a lunch break and just bring your Switch to work and just play a little bit, and you'll be done with it in no time. Or hopefully,
I never have my Switch at work, unfortunately.
Oh, right. Of course. Yeah, of course.
Your work doesn't allow
really...
it. No. The company I work for looks down on video games.
Yeah, he has to play his Xbox when he's on his lunch. Otherwise, it's like he's not really taking a break.
It's not real video games, Switch. Those are for kids.
Oh, that's where we're going. Okay.
But anyway, my next game is a similarly family-friendly sort of fun frolic through fantastic worlds, bright, colourful. It's Disco Elysium, and I know this didn't come out this year.
But
this, I was just about to say that.
I primarily played it. I primarily played it this year, and that's a rule we instigated last year, and I'm carrying it over, baby. It was one of my games for 2023. Do you want to know another twist?
What?
I primarily played it on my Steam Deck.
Oh my god, Alex.
I'm breaking all the rules.
Alex was just asleep for the entirety of 2022, so Disco Elysium technically did release in Alex's year of 2023.
Yeah.
But this is just an utterly jaw-dropping experience. It demands... honestly, quite a lot from the player. It demands, attention, discipline, understanding. It also demands the acceptance that you will not be able to see everything that the game has to offer unless you play through it a number of times, And it's not sort of like, you have a big decision to make or anything like that. It's just, it has kind of dice rolls, a little bit D&D like. And if you fail them,
if it felt like a pen and paper RPG, but in
a little,
video game
yeah.
Cool.
It's not strictly like that, but it does have a little bit of that. And when I played it on Switch initially, before moving onto the Steam Deck, there was this thing where you have to convince this guy you've racked up a hotel bill, and you can try and convince him to wipe it clean by intimidating him, or you've got various options. And the first time I played it, I achieved it. And then I played it again and I didn't achieve it. And it's I've actually got to go and find 120 real or whatever it is. And that is not easy to get.
No way.
Not the microphone. In the end, I actually asked my partner for the money and he gave it to me. And I felt really guilty.
I've really wanted to try out this game, and I actually bought it here last month. We're already in December. Yeah, I bought it last month, and I'm really looking forward to giving it a go. I'm just finishing up some other games, and then it's weird because it's one of those games that you hear everyone just says it's amazing, but it's I'm not immediately grabbed by when I look at it. I don't know if it was the same for you, Alex.
It was, yeah. I heard loads of great things about it, but the thing that really hooked me was the internal monologue that has the game. It's so beautifully written and beautifully performed as well. The voice of the narrator feels like a strong word, but it is the internal monologue essentially. It's almost like its own character, and it's just to die for. I love it. It's just such a pleasant voice to listen to. It sort of gives me a little bit of goosebumps now and then. But to have that so sort of effortlessly realized, and to provide this, it's not just constant reading of text, which is fine, don't get me wrong, but it's just everything is read aloud, and it's just oh my god. And it sucks you in.
Oh, it's like Hades. Let's go.
Yeah. I love it. It's not for children though. My god, it's not for children. You deal with some very adult topics, and I don't just mean there's blood and sex or whatever. It's very gritty, very down to earth. You deal with like a big sort of key point of the game as you're dealing with a dead body in the tree. You have to establish the cause of death. You have to, and you know, it's sort of being, it's having the body is being like attacked by this irritating child. And you can't stop them.
I get the point now.
Yeah, it's like it's pretty heavy, and it's like but it's sort of like brushed aside by people, like it's just a day job. It's oh god, and there's loads of politics seeped into it as well in this fantasy world. It's astonishing as a game. Okay, let's have a palate cleanser now with the final game. Yes, it's Pikmin 4.
I was worried. Where was that game?
No, it's Pikmin 4.
We were asleep, Felix.
This, I can't believe, after being such a Pikmin 1 stan for so long, that this is now, and I feel like I have to say it's the best one. Like, even Pikmin 3,
wow.
I loved Pikmin 3, but Pikmin 4, it surpasses the first one. It's a very different game in many ways. Obviously, the core ideas and everything are the same, but it plays very differently, and I love the first one in its own way, but this is, I think, just by a hair, it's a better experience. And that's taking nostalgia into account. Like, that's treating nostalgia as a factor.
One of my best friends, he's a big Pikmin head, and he's always telling me about going back and replaying Pikmin 1. He'll tell me, like, you know, and I don't know how often he does this, but he'll tell me that it's like the kind of game that you can, if you know it well enough, you can play it in a day.
Oh, easily, yeah.
So how do you feel in regards to the replayability of Pikmin 4 then?
Oh, it's just a bigger game all round. It's, you know, Pikmin 1 has a very kind of arcadey feel, and I think that wasn't initially present. Or maybe it's not initially present the first time you play it, but definitely after you've played it a few times, it's like an arcade game in so many ways. Pikmin 4 doesn't have that. It's much more narratively driven, you know, sort of not to say that Pikmin doesn't have its narrative, but it's very simple. It's just, I need to escape. You know, that is the narrative of Pikmin 1. And that is extremely effective. But Pikmin 4 has more characters, more twists, more turns, more environments, more dogs. Yes, Oatchi, and Moss, of course. It's just a fantastic game. And when I thought initially that Oatchi would be like completely overpowered, make the whole game a breeze, it makes the earlier level. Oatchi makes the whole earlier levels a breeze. The later levels, oh my god, you need Oatchi, and certainly some of the optional challenges, you need Oatchi. Like, it's not even funny. And something that I didn't fully expect, there are numerous different ways to tackle some of the various more difficult challenges. You know, it's nothing out of this world, but like, yeah, I don't want to go into too many details for spoilers, but yeah, it's an amazing time. I have a few reservations with it, like, you know, maybe bring the enemies back when I've defeated them all rather than just having their corpses littering the world, you know. It makes it feel a bit empty afterwards, but yeah, apart from that, absolutely stellar.
That's cool that they mess with the formula, and you're so impressed with it still in the end as well, like as a longtime Pikmin fan. That's awesome.
The funny thing about this game is, like, you hear everyone talking about, you know, this is a really great game, but I've not really had the urge to play it. I mean, after you talking about it now, I am having a little urge, and I do think I need like a feel-good game. I'm tired of like defeating gods and having to solve monsters. I just need something, you know, nice for my mind and something a bit family friendly. So I think, maybe it's something I pick up.
Yeah,
over the holidays.
No more Red Dead, no more Persona for Felix for a while.
No more Disco Elysium for little Felix.
I mean, Pikmin, we're talking about feel good wise here. I finally started playing Pikmin 1 this year with the 1+2 remaster collection. But I see all the death now in the series. I totally understand it. It makes sense.
Yeah, Pikmin's like a feel-good film, but it's also, in many ways, it's quite bittersweet. At the end of the day, these Pikmin are all like individual creatures, and they kind of accept that they may die. You definitely get that sense. but it's still harrowing when it happens.
And it is still so fun. And oh my god.
Are you telling me that Pikmin is too mature for me now?
No, it just catches you by surprise.
Yeah.
That's all.
No,
it
that's
really
good.
does.
You get invested, you know? It's kind of like...
It's like a dark turn. It's like Undertale was, yeah.
No, I mean, it's very, in some ways, it's actually very matter of fact about death. I said this would be a palate cleanser. But, you know, it's sort of like the Pikmin kind of accepts that, yeah, they're probably going to die, but, you know, it's okay. So that was my top 5 games of the year.
Wow. Yeah.
Oh, is that all 5 already? Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that went flying by.
Oh,
wow.
Yeah. But yeah, those were my 5. Obviously, with some jiggling by lovely Jim, who made sure we didn't have any duplicates. So, if there's something you feel is dead missing, well, mate, you clearly haven't watched the other 2 videos by lovely Felix and lovely Xeon. Look for those in the description below. But for now, all I have to say is thank you so much for watching, and thank you for watching all 3, which I'm sure you have by this point in the video. If you like this video and the other 2, why don't you... that subscribe button is family friendly. That's all I've got. And be sure to check out NintendoLife.com for all sorts of lovely Nintendo-related content. Thank you again for watching. Bye-bye.
I think that's the first time I've ever heard Alex stumble his outro.